Hi guys, it's Mary, Hard Left Yogi with Flip Your Dog. So this is one of the other tutorials for our handstand class that's about to happen, and unless you just like fast forwarded and skipped on through. So the premise of what we have is we have a session, a set amount of classes for this next handstand class. It's the same flow every day so that you can start to drop into practice and then utilize these tutorials to set you up for a better practice. So example, one of the earlier tutorials was really about what your mind does throughout a handstand, right? Your mind freaks out on you if you're new, right? So we will have a whole class of this flow that's all about your mind, and I will cue your mind. I did another tutorial on the breath itself. So we'll have a whole class with this same flow that you'll see in this next yoga class video, where it has the focus of those breaths throughout the whole class. My hope for you is that you'll see these tutorials. Each tutorial will be embedded within a class, so you'll get a whole practice to kind of have the theory in a class setting itself, so that by the time you've done this class 6-7 times, 6 or 7 different focuses in different ways, that you will have a really good grasp of whatever we're moving towards. This one happens to be towards handstands. So we talked about breath, and we talked about your mind. I also want to talk about bandhas and what they are and how they pertain to handstands and how we'll use those in classes, whether it's this class or any other class. So bandhas are body locks. Body locks, you know, my easiest way to describe it to you is where junctions of muscle weave into other muscles. So example, I'm gonna stand up here. I'm still in the video. So we have our mula bandha, which is at the base of our pelvis. This is where the muscles of your legs come into your hips, and then the muscles of your hips tack each leg in and then to one another. So we have this like huge unifying weave of muscle that is coming into this low pelvic floor, right? It's also what holds all your organs up in your body, keeps from prolapse happening. There's 2 ways to learn to do the bandhas. I'll show you this in just a moment. But if you can think of it as not trying to hold too hard and not being lackadaisical. So how I teach bandhas, there's several ways to teach bandhas. Let's do the less accosting way first, because I have some real fun ways to teach bandhas. All right, so come with me to have a seat on something that you can comfortably get your sit bones on, right, and sit upright. So you're going to feel your sit bones, the top of your thigh bones, the bones, where your top of your thigh bones and your butt bones come together. There's these like little flat bones at the base of your butt. It's not your leg bone. You should be able to move your leg, but it's those sit bones, right? So feel those 2 sit bones try to draw in to the center of your pelvis, right? Then feel the front of your pubic bone and your tailbone try to move towards. So you should have like a crosshair shape at the base of your pelvis. It's where your perineum is, your space between your spaces. You get my meaning? Thank you very much. So that place is trying to lift away from whatever you're sitting on, all right? So exhale and see if you can feel like the crosshair space. Like your sit bones are still down, right? Your pubic bone and tailbone are still down, but that crosshair space, your perineum is drawing up, right? And it should actually make like the back of your throat lift up. You should feel like I'm seeing on this block, I'm trying to move that area right away. Right. A lot of people have no clue what the hell I'm talking about when I say that. So I've come up with some really gross but fun ways to teach bandhas. All right, so another way to do a bandha understanding is to take the block, get it right up, get personal, get real intimate your block, right? And bring your block in between your thighs. Notice I've got the skinnier side in there, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. So this time I'm going to feel my inner thigh squeeze. I'm going to feel my low belly pull back. And now whatever is close to that block is trying to move away. They are no longer friends, right? All right. So I'm basically trying to pull the muscle up, out, away from the block. For most people, this still doesn't make any sense because proprioception is a thing, right? So women, imagine you're standing there and you have just now, so stand there, and you have just now realized it is time to change your tampon. Hold the tampon in. Completely different experience. So feel a Kegel, because a bandha, Mula bandha is not a Kegel. Feel a Kegel, turn off your urine stream. Little frontal feeling, right? Now, hold the tampon. Way deeper of a feeling. It's literally up by that cervix feeling, right? All right, so men who've not held a tampon in your experience, let me explain. Have you had a prostate exam? So everybody, you women too, the men play. Now we gotta play with the men. Put your hands on your knees, bend over for me, right? So clear your throat. So what I'm gonna have you do is do the prostate cough, right? What I mean by that is that perineum, that space between your spaces that I was talking about, and your low belly. What you're gonna feel is that space, that perineum is gonna draw up, and the low belly is gonna shoot back to the spine at the same time when we do this cough. So, and that's how honestly what your doctor's looking for, to see how resilient that prostate is, friends. So whether you have a prostate or not, come with me. All right, so take an inhale in, a little prostate cough out, and feel, I mean, you could even see everything happen there, right? And so you can do one or two things. When you do this class, and I'll be talking about it throughout class, I'll describe it once through the class, and then I'll talk about it as far as your cough muscles or pelvic floor muscles, because frankly, I don't want to describe it as a prostate exam and hold a tampon in for the whole class. But if you want to learn how to really get deep in there and feel that Mula bandha, that is the best way to do it. The next bandha is your Uddiyana bandha, which gets engaged in the prostate cough, right? Not so much with the holding tampon in, right? So with the Mula bandha, they used to describe it as just being 2 inches below your navel and straight back. They have like teachings that I have seen to be updated, or I just started following their teachers over the last 20 years, where I just became better, who knows, right? So it's the upper abs and the lower abs. So really, like I said, this is the union of where your upper body and lower body connect, right? And so these two places is all that really holds this upper body over this lower body. So we're getting control of it. When I asked you to stand there and hold the tampon in, you might have got some mild activation, but not near the like of a prostate cough, right? Another way that you can look at trying to get these bandhas engaged, and I would love to be like those great yogis that can do the whole belly shaky, wavy thing. Still working on that. But if you ever had a 7-year-old boy at a swimming pool, and they would come in and they would suction all of this up and just like cave it up into their rib cage, essentially that's what you want to do for your Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, right? But to learn how to do it, you can even come over into down dog with me, and right here, because the organs fall up out of the way, you can scoop a little more, and we can do it here. Inhale, exhale, little prostate cough. Now hold those muscles in and continue to breathe. So if you saw the breath class earlier, I talked about the Ujjayi breathing, and that bandha, that scoop that you just had in this down dog, you can come down if you need to. That scoop in the belly is the engagement of the bandhas and also what restricts the ujjayi breath into the rib cage. The other bandha that you want to know about for handstands is Jalahara bandha. Well, all 4 of them are Muha bandha, right? So you do want to get them all going, but Jalahara bandha is called fisherman's lock or the neck lock. It is a pulling back like this. You don't want it that extreme throughout your handstands, right? Because then your chin would be tucked. But you do want to make sure you're not lifting your head in your handstands so that your ears are going to be stacked. You can slightly look down and do a slight lift, long as the chin and the chest isn't coming forward in your handstands. So that is what your bandhas are. When you do the bandha class, the whole class I will be talking about the bandhas. Just like when you do the breath class, the whole breath class for handstands will be talking about the bandhas. So I hope you enjoyed that mini tutorial on what a bandha is, so that when you do this class, you'll have an understanding and it will really propel your practice. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like us, leave us a comment, subscribe, go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever we're on. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy our practice. Namaste.